Hello, this is Michele Martinez. Hello to my NALEO family. Three things that I believe that could be very vital to your success as a newly elected official, as you're embarking on your journey as a municipal leader in your community. As it pertains to budget, I believe that is one of the most important aspects of your job, the fiscal functionality of your role and understanding that role. But there are some things that I believe, specifically three things that can be very helpful to you understanding your budget and ensuring that your budget is in alignment with your goals and your community goals and vision. But to understand your budget, I would say one, understand the rules of engagement, what that process is. Do you get community involvement? What kind of budget do you actually have? Where does your money come from? Where are the majority of your revenues going to, which are expensive? Typically, it is most likely salaries and benefits. And that is also tied to pensions. So understanding, specifically post-COVID-19, that a lot of our revenues at the municipal level have decreased because of issues as it pertains to hotel tax, retail tax. So there was a lot of fluctuation. And as we all know, specifically with retail tax or sales tax, it's very volatile. It changes. One thing that doesn't change most likely is real estate tax and property tax. That's pretty stable. But the other thing that I would say as well is understanding where your money comes from. For example, here in California, most revenues for local municipalities specifically come from property tax and sales tax and hotel tax. But in California, we now have, we've legalized marijuana. So in many cities throughout California, and specifically the state of California, there's a new source of revenue, which is cannabis. And if you do decide to go that route and looking at ways to expand your revenues in your municipality, please keep in mind that it's important to understand that they are legal businesses, bona fide, but you want to make sure that it's in alignment with your goals and your values of your community. The last thing that I would say is that every government entity owns property. And so look at your land use and zoning and where can you maximize your best assets. And the reality is that if you have a main street, if you have a downtown, look at value per acre, look at maximizing the opportunities of your land and the uses of that, because that generates revenue in your community. Don't sell your land. If you're going to develop your land or you're going to do something with your land with a developer for housing, for retail, or whatever have you, do a ground lease. We cannot create more property. We can't make more land. So it's imperative that you keep the property that you own and leverage it and maximize it so that you can generate the amounts of revenue that are necessary to sustain your community. So those are the top three things that I would urge you as a newly elected official to take a look, where your money come from, where your money is going, and how can you generate new revenue that's sustainable for the long term, because we do have a lot of legacy costs like pensions, deteriorating infrastructure, and some of us post-COVID-19 need to look at generating new sources of revenue and also cutting from our budgets. And so you have an opportunity to look at both. And there's so much opportunity with the real estate that you currently own and doing ground leases. But more importantly, how do you sustain your community for the long term? You don't want increasing liabilities, specifically with pensions. So I would encourage you to take a look, to get advisement from your finance directors and or your city management or superintendents or those that are in charge of your budgets to get a better understanding and the process and how you engage your community. And with that, I would like to end by just telling you all that NALEO is an important and crucial part of your learning and growth as a newly elected official, specifically us Latinos, to have an organization like NALEO where we can participate, learn from one another, and unlearn sometimes. But we're a familia. We can gain a lot from the various educational institutes that NALEO has, annual conference, phone calls, Zooms, participate, gain as much knowledge as you possibly can so that you can share that with your community and that you can grow. At the end of the day, it's important to be adaptive and more importantly, to also immerse yourself with others that are like-minded like you, and those that may not be in alignment with you. You learn and you grow when people challenge you, challenge your paradigm. So I want to encourage you, because NALEO creates a platform and a safe space for you to get engaged and involved and meet people across this country and this nation. Expand your wings beyond your own municipality, because there's so much for you to learn and grow, and the NALEO family is there for you. Thank you. Have yourselves a great time on your journey of elected office.